Hello, everybody!
Hi, Daddy.
Oh.
That's typically what you say.
Whoa,
what
what's
was that?
happening?
Hello, everybody. I was like, oh gosh, is the universe gonna explode?
What is this Freaky Friday crap going on?
Hurry,
We
you have
switch
to say
bodies.
it.
Hi, Daddy!
There, we're all saved.
Happy 2021, y'all!
Yay, we're here.
We're here.
We've been living it for a few days.
We're here. We're clear. Get used to it. Clear, like clear intentions, clear skin.
Clear-minded.
Yeah. So, I was listening to my favorite podcast, Pod Save America. They did a New Year's resolution recap where they went through some of their New Year's resolutions from last year that they either succeeded in or epically failed in. And then they also set intentions on the podcast for everyone to hear in hopes that their fans would hold them accountable to their goals. And I came home and said, Sam, we're doing this.
Yeah, which made me really nervous, but we are here, we're clear.
Get used to it.
Get used to it. In order to start this whole process, we gotta go through our goals from last year.
My sister is one of the most incredible people I know. She's so goal-oriented and just, an incredible leader in every sense of the word. She always sort of stewards us through some kind of goal-setting exercise at the beginning of each year. So last year for 2020, it was the top 20 of 2020. And they weren't necessarily resolutions, because resolutions always feel a little bit more, esoteric, this is who I want to be, this is what I want. They were just kind of goals, or just sort of things that you wanted to see happen or that you wanted to accomplish. They had to be actionable,
achievable, attainable, and quantifiable.
That's right. Good job. We both still have our lists right here.
Oh, man. A relic of the past.
I also wrote an amended list on the back. Quarantine goals. Stay alive.
Stay alive.
But I did it, so that's good.
Good job.
Without further ado, we're going to take you through some of the goals on here that either crashed and burned or that survived and thrived. And then we're going to set some goals and intentions for this upcoming year, the year 2021, where all of our dreams come true.
Period. Now, I will say, going through this list was a sad experience for me. I'm redefining my relationship with goals and redefining the meaning of failure and trying to not take that so personally. So that's a journey I'm on.
Okay, and the other caveat, I think, is, last year was not a typical year.
Of course.
I think a lot of people didn't accomplish what they wanted to accomplish because, this thing called COVID happened. I don't know if you know, but...
Well, it was just a pandemic that we're still in, by the way. Yeah, it was
respiratory
just this thing.
illness came from a cow or something. Cow? What's it called? A bat? No, pangolin. Mad cow disease was the other one. Hashtag mad cow disease.
That's why I can't give blood.
What?
I'm not allowed to donate blood because I was born in London during the time of the mad cow disease.
Lols. I can't give blood because I have diabetes.
The thing that does kind of sting looking back at some of these is oh man, I really could have done some of these.
Yeah, me too.
And, goal number 3 on here was write one intentional topic-based Instagram post a month. 12 in total. I don't know what the grammar was in that sentence, but the heart there was to sit down, pick a topic that I want to actually write and make a little message about to post on my Instagram at least once a month. It's interesting because in hindsight, I know in 2020 I posted a lot of good content with substance, especially considering all of the movements and information that I wanted to get out there on the internet. I don't think they really count because I didn't sit down beforehand and go this is a part of my goal. I'm doing my intentional writing.
But you did start a YouTube channel where you touch on many subjects. I think about our Northerner versus Southerner video. I think about our conspiracy theory video.
Yeah.
The core of the goal you accomplished, to use your voice on the internet for good and to spread information and stuff. So it's the derivative effect of the intention that you set, I think you still achieved. So I'll just fire off some of mine. I'll go into the finer points of some of them, but travel to Europe, lols. Can't do that with COVID. Perform a cabaret out of state, lols. traveling, performing, funny. Start climbing again. Go to a climbing gym, you know, where like you touch all the plastic holds on the wall that everyone else has been touching in a global pandemic. I don't think so. Have a monthly poker night at my apartment. Bring people from all over the city into my apartment and play poker with them and touch the same cards. I don't think so. So like there's a lot of do stand-up. Yeah, go to a stand-up club and do that.
I forgot that was on your list.
So, you know, a lot of things that not so much. Goal number 1, which I just think is really funny. So for those of you who don't know, if you're under a Broadway contract, you can add like amendments to the contract to give yourself outs. So like if I'm under a year contract for a Broadway show, but I book a pilot, I can exercise one of my outs to go do that pilot and then come back to the show. And so for my Frozen contract, I had an out to do a pilot, an out to do episodic work, and an out to do a movie. And so I said, exercise all of my outs for Frozen. And what I didn't know is that I was actually going to exercise my 4th out, the force majeure, where something terrible happens and production must cease and then the show gets shut down. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Couldn't have planned for that. Remember when I was on Broadway less than a year ago?
Yeah.
Woof!
Another one of mine was take at least one beginner's dance class. And that's one of those things that like, yeah, some dance teachers did adapt to doing it over Zoom, and like I maybe could have done that, but also I don't have the space anywhere to, so it would have been me trying to like cram a goal like onto the list just so I can do it.
I don't know.
LOL. Sorry. I didn't fully look at this list before we did this. Number 19, one that also is just brutal. Get new headshots by July. I didn't get new headshots by July, but I did get dropped by my agents.
I forgot. I mean, whatever. They're lost. Like,
oh, man.
You know what I don't see on this list? Get promoted twice. Get
That's
2
true.
raises.
You know, I
get
did.
Health benefits.
I did have on this list get a raise, and I got 2. So
yeah, it's
take
like
that 2020.
when you look at this list, it's like, oh, it was a wash. I had such a bad year, but you of all people had like one of the most legendary years, considering it was 2020.
Yeah.
Not even considering it was 2020, you had a legendary year. So get out of here, Sam. I have 2 that I'm proud of. One was engage in a political campaign. Just not only just using my voice and like working with different organizations, but like, you know, Tommy Vitor on Pod Save America, I'm giving them a lot of love on this YouTube video. Like he said, like, donate till it hurts. Like spend money that like is hard to spend. Don't just like throw $5 at, you know, Joe Biden and be like, I did something. Like I donated a lot of money to Joe Biden and a lot of money to a lot of candidates that lost too, Amy McGrath and, you know, a bunch of other people like running for Senate that didn't win. But I'm really proud of that. And another one that I'm really proud of, number 14, start therapy. I started therapy. I saw my therapist every week in 2020 starting in February. And I genuinely can't believe that I have not been in therapy longer, because it is such an amazing tool. And for those of you who watch our videos, you know that we are big proponents of therapy, of seeing a therapist. My friend Garrett put it best. He said it's an investment in yourself. And I'm really proud of that one.
Yeah, you should be.
So, what do you think? Should we kind of dive into setting some intentions for this next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think the fun thing about this is we can just set a couple publicly for you guys, and you guys get to hold us accountable for these.
And next year around this time, we can cut back to this video and be like, oops, or be like, nailed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully the latter.
So I came up with 3 goals. 3 things for this new year that I want to achieve. Future Samantha, I want to be looking at you, or I want you to be looking at me.
Nice.
Going like, yeah, Sam, I did that. Don't worry about it, girl. Toss, you know?
I cannot wait to react to that clip next year.
I know. So the first goal on my list that I want to accomplish starting tomorrow is I want to bring back morning pages into my life. I learned about morning pages through doing Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. It's a great book, but it's formatted kind of like a workbook. You can just read it through and do it all yourself, but we did it.
We did it together.
As a little book club, and it was such a great experience. And one of the things that Julia talks about and suggests to do in this book is morning pages. You wake up every morning, first thing you do is journal. You're supposed to fill out 3 pages, and it can literally be you going, I'm so tired, this is so stupid, I don't know why I'm writing right now. But what ends up happening is your subconscious brain just ends up filling out those pages, and sometimes you look back at it and you learn a lot about yourself. So I want to bring that back.
Love
in
that.
my year. I want to journal every morning this year.
And I wake up next to you every morning, so I'll be like,
Journal.
you doing those morning pages?
Yes, exactly.
When I was setting my intentions for this year, I kind of thought broad concept. I was thinking about like what sort of defined last year and what do I want to define this year. And what kind of defined last year for me was sickness. I mean, not just COVID-19, but you know, I've been very open about learning about and learning how to handle my depression and my anxiety. I'm a diabetic, and you know, in times of high stress, my blood sugar can fluctuate pretty greatly, and obviously last year was a very stressful year. So this year I wanted to kind of all be about health, and so all of my goals really fall into that sort of umbrella concept. My first goal is I want to go the next level, not just managing it, but managing it really, really well. The idea of doing that is not only like enticing, it's like exciting to me. Just like,
awesome.
Again, positioning myself in this like mentality of like, if last year was the year of sickness, this is the year of health.
Another one that I have is one that actually was on my list from last year. And normally I think I would be like, oh, it's a new year, start fresh. But last year was not a normal year. I want to give myself a second chance. So the second thing on my list for this year is do the splits.
Oh, get your splits.
I want to do the splits.
You want
like,
to do them, or
sincerely.
you want to like have them?
I want to have
Yeah,
them.
okay.
Like, I want to have my splits. I have a friend named Sloan who teaches dance and is convinced that she knows how to get us our splits real fast. And so I'm committing to that. Splits.
Whoops. Cut to this video next year and you're just like in your centers the whole time.
Oh my gosh, that would be fierce.
Quite a flex.
If future me is just like, oh hey Sam, like me and the splits. I want that for myself.
I'm going to rapid fire my last 2 goals because they kind of go together. Something that I've been working on in therapy, something that I know very well about myself, is that I have like an all or nothing mentality that is very much focused on results and not focused on processes. And so both with my fitness, but also with my art, a lot of the times I'm focusing on projects, on deadlines, on I want to look this way by this date, or I want to have this many songs out by this time. And that kind of all or nothing mentality, that kind of perfectionist streak that I have, I think often deters me from enjoying the process and doing the work. And so rather than, you know, because on one of my goals from last year was have a 10-song album. And I think rather than putting pressure on making 10 perfect songs, I would rather set a goal to make myself make music every day. Not having an end result, just celebrating and enriching the process itself. So I have a goal for this year that every day during like the work week, Monday through Friday, I spend an hour on my body, and that can be stretching, that can be running, that can be lifting, whatever, and I spend an hour on my music.
I love that.
Actionable, quantifiable, achievable, but it has nothing to do with results. It has everything to do with the process. Hold me accountable to it. Hold me accountable to it. And yes, exactly, healthy.
It's such a healthy mindset.
It falls under that umbrella of healthy. I don't want to set goals that are unhealthy or that make me feel bad about myself, even in the pursuit of achieving them. I want to set goals that are healthy specifically for me, the way that I'm wired, and the things that I go through.
Yay. My last one is a big one.
Okay.
I feel good because it was a goal of mine last year, And if anything, I should be more prepared to make it come to fruition this year because I have a lot of actionable steps for it. I want to release a book of poems. Last year, that was on my list, didn't happen, but what was on my list was to have 70 poems by the end of the year that I really liked. I have them. And I even did more than that because I started collaborating with Matthias. Not like collaborating like he's writing with me, but he was helping me out, being a little mentor pal. And we set some goals and I ended up writing like at least 100 poems in total. And so I have a new goal of writing more so I can then trim the fat and end up with like a solid little book of poems that I want to release this year. So because I feel like I'm closer than I was last year, I want to put it on my list for this year.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'm really excited.
Hold us accountable to these goals.
Please.
Like, if you want to hop into those comments in 2 months and be like, how those splits coming? Where's that poetry book? Like, I hear you've been making music for an hour every day. Where are the songs? Like,
Please
hold us
do it.
accountable. The reason that we're doing it is for the lulz, just in case we fail next year.
Yeah.
But also because there's a lot of power in putting your goals in the public space and saying, this is what we're trying to do, and you will be watching us attempt to do them. And you know what else you can do is you can drop some of your goals into the comments, and Daddy can hold you accountable.
Yes.
Daddy Nation. And we'll all just be accountability partners. 2021, year of success. Anything is possible. No one can stop us from achieving our true potential.
Yeah. You were getting higher and higher.
Well,
2021.
higher and higher, 2021.
Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, be sure to like and subscribe. Oh, that never gets old. And we will see you guys on Friday.
We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
I mean, bye,
Bye,
Daddy.
Daddy.
What is
What is
happening
wrong?
to me?